Ijeoma's childhood betrayal. Ijeoma was the pride of her family, a beautiful young woman from a wealthy home in Imo State, Nigeria. Her father, Chief Okoro, was a man of great influence, known across the land for his immense wealth and connections. Her mother, Lolo Ada, was the epitome of grace, admired by many. Together, they created an image of a perfect family, one that everyone envied. As a child, Ijeoma grew up with everything she could ever want. She attended the best schools and eventually earned a scholarship to study overseas. Her life seemed like a dream, one that any young girl would wish for. But beneath the surface of this perfect life, a dark secret was buried deep within the foundation of her family. After completing her studies abroad, Ijeoma returned home, eager to make her parents proud and to give back to her community. Soon, a wealthy prince from a neighboring village took interest in her. Prince Obinna was everything Ijeoma could have hoped for, handsome, kind, and rich beyond measure. Their love blossomed quickly, and soon they were planning their wedding. The day Ijeoma married Prince Obinna was supposed to be the happiest of her life. The ceremony was grand, attended by the elite of society, and everyone who mattered was there to witness their union. But as she looked into the eyes of her new husband, a sense of unease settled in her heart. It was as if the shadows of her past were beginning to creep into her present. Not long after their marriage, strange things began to happen. Ijeoma would wake up in the middle of the night, drenched in sweat, haunted by nightmares she couldn't explain. Her health started to deteriorate, and no doctor could find a reason for her sudden decline. The love that once filled her marriage slowly faded, replaced by coldness and distance. Prince Obinna, once so loving, became withdrawn, almost as if he were afraid of her. Desperate for answers, Ijeoma turned to her parents. But instead of finding comfort, she uncovered the dark truth that had been hidden from her all her life. Chief Okoro and Lolo Ada had not acquired their wealth through hard work alone. They had made a pact with a secret brotherhood, one that required them to perform ritual sacrifices to maintain their fortune. And the most horrifying part of it all, their first sacrifice had been Ijeoma's elder brother, whom she never knew existed. The rituals, it turned out, had cursed Ijeoma's life from the day she was born. Her parents had traded her future for their wealth, binding her to a fate of suffering and despair. The nightmares she experienced were the spirits of the innocent lives taken to secure her parents' fortune. Her marriage to Prince Obinna was nothing more than another deal made in the shadows, a union meant to solidify the power of the brotherhood. Ijeoma's world shattered. She realized that her entire life had been built on blood and deception. The people she trusted the most had betrayed her in the worst possible way. With her heart broken and her spirit crushed, she confronted her parents. But instead of remorse, she found only cold indifference. They had made their choice long ago, and there was no turning back. With no one left to turn to, Ijeoma decided to leave everything behind. She abandoned her wealth, her title, and her family, seeking refuge in the arms of God, hoping to find peace. But the scars of betrayal ran deep, and the shadows of her past continued to haunt her. She wandered from place to place, never finding rest, always on the run from the curse that plagued her life. Ijeoma's tale is a reminder that wealth and power come at a great cost, and the price is often paid by the innocent. Her story is one of love betrayed, trust shattered, and a life destroyed by the greed of those who were supposed to protect her.
Ijeoma in her room, sitting on her bed, tears strew her face. Her marriage to Prince Obinna has fallen apart. Obinna has become distant and cold, no longer the loving husband she once knew. He stays away from home, spending time with other beautiful women, ignoring Ijeoma completely. The curse from her parents' brotherhood still haunts her, and the kingdom has begun to reject her. The people of Prince Obinna's kingdom whisper about her cursed blood, saying she brought bad luck to their prince. Ijeoma tries to reach out to Obinna, but he brushes her off, spending more time with his newfound lovers. Her heart is heavy as she realizes the weight of her family's sins has fallen on her shoulders. Ijeoma walks through the streets of Prince Obinna's kingdom, but instead of the respect she once had as the prince's wife, the people now shun her. Children run away, mothers whisper behind her back, and traders refuse to sell to her. The kingdom believes she is cursed, and even her husband seems to have accepted their words. The rejection becomes unbearable for Ijeoma. One night, Ijeoma overhears Prince Obinna's council of elders speaking of dissolving her marriage. They claim that her cursed blood will destroy the kingdom's future. With no one left to turn to, Ijeoma's heart sinks, knowing her marriage is crumbling and the curse her parents created is ruining everything. As Ijeoma is at her lowest, a mysterious stranger enters the kingdom. He is a traveling evangelist, an anointed man of God, and his presence brings hope. He hears of Ijeoma's troubles and seeks her out, telling her that God has sent him to break the curse. He shares that the curse is deeply rooted in the sacrificial blood of her brother and the dark brotherhood rituals of her parents. The evangelist invites Ijeoma to come to the holy mountain of God, where he will lead her in prayer to come destroy the curse and bring peace back to her life. Ijeoma, desperate for any solution, agrees to go with him, hoping that the curse over her family will finally be well. On the holy mountain, the evangelist and Ijeoma pray earnestly. They fast and cry out to God, asking for mercy and deliverance. As they pray, a great wind blows across the mountain and the sky darkens. The spiritual forces that held Ijeoma bound begin to tremble. The spirits of the sacrificed, including her brother, rise before them. But as the evangelist calls on the power of God, the blood altar of the brotherhood is destroyed in a dramatic moment of divine intervention. The curse is lifted, and Ijeoma feels a weight lift from her soul. With the curse broken, Ijeoma knows she must confront her father, Chief Okoro. She returns home and finds him, weak and regretful. Though he does not show it, Ijeoma can see that guilt has been eating away at him for years. She forgives him and tells him that the blood curse has been broken. Tears fill her father's eyes as he apologizes not just to her, but also to Prince Obinna and the kingdom. His sorrow and genuine repentance move everyone. Meanwhile, Prince Obinna continues to be drawn to other women, but none can truly replace Ijeoma in his heart. He realizes that his love for her is real and that despite everything, he still wants her by his side. Fate brings him back to Ijeoma, and after hearing of the curse being broken and seeing the humility of Chief Okoro, Prince Obinna decides to forgive Ijeoma. He apologizes for his coldness and mistreatment, recognizing that he too had been under the influence of dark forces. In a moment of reconciliation, Prince Obinna and Ijeoma renew their marriage vows, pledging to stand by each other no matter what. The elders of the kingdom, who once wanted her gone, now accept her once again as the future queen. With the curse broken and Chief Okoro forgiven, the family's wealth and status are restored. Ijeoma's father is no longer bound by the Dark Brotherhood, and for the first time in years, he feels free. Prince Obinna showers his in-laws with honor, restoring their wealth and position in society. The once broken family is made whole again, and Ijeoma stands proudly by her husband's side as they prepare for their new life together. Years later, Ijeoma and Prince Obinna are blessed with children, filling their palace with laughter and joy. The people of the kingdom, who once rejected Ijeoma, now celebrate her as their beloved queen. Her children are raised to be the future leaders of the kingdom, ensuring that the royal bloodline will continue. In a moment of happiness, Ijeoma stands on the balcony of the palace, holding her newborn child as she watches the kingdom rejoice below. She is finally at peace, knowing that the curse has been broken, her marriage has been restored, and her future is bright. The evangelist who once helped Ijeoma return to the kingdom, where a church has been built in his honor. The church stands as a symbol of God's deliverance, and it becomes a place of hope. Do kindly subscribe.